Hi and welcome to Rue's Kitchen and Gardening. This is our first face-to-face video. Well, I had to do it face-to-face because the topic that I'm going to speak about, let you know about, I didn't know any other way to. What could I show you? I couldn't show you any green plant or something like my other videos. Well, uh, well, the reason I started Rue's Kitchen and Garden was now that we are face to face. I think it's time that I mention why I started Rue's Kitchen and Garden, this channel, the Facebook, the Instagram page in the first place. I've been gardening now for 14 years. I've been growing plants for 14 years. So I came across a lot of difficulties in during my gardening journey. Um, I tried to look for help on the internet, but there was not much available. And even if there was earlier in those days, back in those days, it was more focused on, I think, US and Europe. So they would talk about zone 5, zone 6, and I was clueless about what it meant. And to be honest, the climatic conditions, the soil condition, what grows, the season, everything is different. So over the years, in my channel, I can say I'm very much focused on Asian climatic conditions, Asian soil. Um, you know, so I live in Singapore, so and I'm from India, so I know the growing conditions of plants and the seasons that India has. And now I've been in Singapore for 14 years, so I know what grows here and what kind of soil we have, and the unpredictable weather that we have, and the challenges of growing food in Singapore. So this channel I started with the intention that it will help people like me uh, who are in this journey. I'm not a master, but I whatever knowledge I have through my experience, I'm really looking forward to share it. And even cooking, I am a self trained cook. I now run my own restaurant, but 14 years ago, when I was married and thrown into this new country and married life, and I didn't know how to cook, to be very very honest, I never learned how to cook. So I am a self trained cook, I can say. And so I would love to share my recipes, and I would love to share my knowledge about gardening, about recipes. Now this channel is called Rules Kitchen and Garden for a reason. But each time I set out, I think, okay, I'll cook this, and I feel that, oh, this recipe is too easy, everybody knows this, or this is too hard, who would want to make it, it's too complicated. So in this video, if you can also advise or suggest some recipes that you would like to learn from me, it would be of great help. So today's topic is about essential nutrients for the plants, the macronutrients, which is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. I get a lot of complaints, or I get a lot of uh, queries from my friends and people on my page, or people who I know out at parties, or they WhatsApp me, they message me, and they ask me, Ru, my plant leaves are turning yellow. Ru, like the bottom leaves are yellow, but the plant is all right. Or the flowers are small, or the fruits are small. Or when I brought this plant from the nursery, it was flowering, and now it has stopped flowering completely, or it has stopped fruiting completely, or it's got insects, or it's got ants. What can I do? What can I do? So I have realized that I keep saying add NPK, apply NPK, add NPK, and NPK dalo, and everybody is like, what is this damn NPK that you keep talking about? And then I say, okay, now if you're living in Singapore, I will say go to Giant and get NPK from the plant section. Go to Shenshong, go to FairPrice, go to a plant nursery, get NPK. And then there are various ratios of 10 is to 10 is to 10, 20 is to 20 is to 20, 10 is to 50, blah 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 blah. So it's very confusing. So I thought I should sit down and talk about each component. Like I could talk about nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and I will also talk about pH of soil and all of that. It's like a series of videos I'm thinking I'm gonna make. So let's start about let's okay. So before we talk about nitrogen in details, why do we need this? Why do we need to add NPK? So like I said in the beginning of the video some time ago, that NPK, these macronutrients, are very essential for plants. So when we see that the leaves are turning yellow, when we see that the leaves are dropping, we try and treat it, with certain things. But um, it's like it's like these are deficiencies. These so like a human body has deficiencies. When we have common cold very frequently, when we have fever very frequently, or when we fall sick very easily, we just have medicines from top. Like if I just take oral medicine or whatever medication, I might feel better for some time, but I need to think about my resistance. I need to think, why am I falling sick so often than the other general public? That's because I am probably not giving my body, not nourishing my body with proper nutrients. So when there's a lack of nutrients, there are these deficiencies which come on to you as a common cold or fever or stuff like that. Some like grayness of premature graying, or some spots and stuff on your skin, or something will come up which shows an imbalance in your body. It's the same with plants. Nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus are essential nutrients. They are like the proteins, they're like the fat, and they're like the building blocks of any plant. So if you just keep on treating superficially, then you're not going to achieve. So what happens is, now if a plant has deficiency, then the plant sends out signals, that it's in stress. And what happens is, the ants catch these signals. They start climbing your plants. Now when the ants come, they bring along with them these white aphids or mealy bugs, the eggs they bring along with them. And then as a result, we see that first the leaves were turning yellow, then the leaves were dropping off, and now the plant has been attacked by these white insects. So more often than not, people come and tell me, oh, my plants have these white insects, what do I do? My plants have ants, what do I do? So you treat the base, go to the root cause of the problem. The root cause of the problem is your plant is undernourished. So you make sure that you give it nourishment. How will you give it nourishment? You add nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and other things that your plant needs. So now let's talk about nitrogen. So nitrogen is like the building block. It's the protein for your plant. It is required for proper growth and maintenance of your plant. So if you see, so what are the things that you will see, in your plant that will tell you, the signs that will tell you that it lacks nitrogen, is yellowing of leaves. You see how this leaf is? So basically what nitrogen does is that it helps the plant to make chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green ingredient, and it helps in photosynthesis. So basically the plant makes food. So nitrogen helps in helps the process of making food, making chlorophyll. So typically your plant will look yellow, and this yellowing happens at the bottom, because what the tendency of the plant is, whatever available nitrogen is in it, it will try and give it to the younger shoots, the younger leaves. So you see that the bottom of the leaf, the bottom leaves of the plant starts turning yellow, like this or like this. Typically it starts from the base and it climbs up. It starts from the sides of the leaf. You see, typically starting from the base, from the outside, and the vein will be green, the other part is yellow. So it's typically these are the telltale signs that your plant is lacking nitrogen, and you need to give nitrogen to your plants. Now why does nitrogen deplete in the soil? You may think that it can just take it from the air, and why do I have to give it? Or when I'm adding compost, doesn't it get enough nitrogen? There are many reasons why a soil lacks nitrogen. One is that there can be already, normally people, when they farmers, when they start farming, or when you're starting to kitchen garden, or when you're starting gardening, you give your soil for testing. So you understand what ingredients or what minerals are present in your soil. Typically zinc, manganese, excess calcium will deplete the nitrogen level in your soil. So when you're testing your soil, obviously you know what is lacking, what is in excess, how your soil condition is. But if you're not testing, then you know that these trace elements, these traces are always there in the soil. There's the presence of excessive zinc or magnesium or manganese in the soil typically reduces the nitrogen level. And also nitrogen is water soluble, so it gets washed off with rain, it gets washed off with your watering. So what you have to do is you have to add to the soil these grains that you get, the granular NPK you get in the market. Now when you see typical yellowing of leaves or dropping of leaves, and the plant is become bald, basically the leaves are falling off, then you know that typically nitrogen is lacking. So you can go to the plant nursery, and you can get like higher ratio of nitrogen as opposed to the other two ingredients. They typically come in a combination of NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So you can get like a 20, so normal when it's all equal, it's 10 is to 10 is to 10, 10N, 10P, 10K. When you see these things are happening and typically you figure out what's lacking in your plant, you can go for a 20 10 10 or a 15 5 5. So that means 20 ratio of nitrogen, 10 phosphorus, 10 potassium, or 15 nitrogen, 5 potassium, 5 phosphorus. So now some people tell me, sorry, but we are 100% organic. We are not going to put any chemicals into our soil. Typically, I also believe in 100% organic, but sometimes what happens is that the problem is severe. Like if it requires, suppose if a human body requires surgery, you cannot say, I'm sorry, but I'm only going to use naturopathy. So when a surgery is required, a surgery is required. Yes, you can prevent the reoccurrence or you can build the immunity for later stages by naturopathy or Ayurvedic or whatever. So in such case, if you see that the problem is severe, your plant is going to die, you please add NPK at least once to begin with. Now, if you want to regularly make sure, that your plant doesn't lack nitrogen or has nitrogen at its optimum level, or you have all the nutrients in your plant. So what are the sources of nitrogen around your kitchen is, or your house, is the basic thing I would say. If you have fish tank, you can use the fish tank water. So when you're replacing water, do not throw it, keep that water, but do not water your indoor plants with the fish tank water, it will smell. So use the fish tank water for your outdoor plants, for your kitchen garden. Then if you have pets, the pet hair, your hair, is again a very good source of nitrogen. Then if you've planted beans like mung beans or legumes and pulses, peas and all, then you can add that soil to other plants, or you can typically in that same pot, after you finished your harvesting your mung beans and the plant is done, you can put your seeds in that pot. That pot is full of nitrogen, sorry, and nutrition. Coffee grounds, used coffee grounds. Now, you may say, where will I find coffee grounds? Or the coffee that I use in my house is not much. Doesn't matter. You can go to your local coffee shop. They'll be more than happy to give you those coffee cakes, like Starbucks and coffee beans. Now, when you're using them, make sure that you crush them, spread them out on a plate, air dry them, and then you add, because they're typically moist. So if you introduce straight into your compost pile, or if you introduce straight to your soil, it's going to catch fungus. So make sure your coffee grounds are dry before you use them. Eggshells has a lot of course, eggshell has slow release nitrogen, so you need to really crush it fine to add it to your compost pile or to your soil for a quicker release of nitrogen, since they are really slow in releasing nitrogen. Also, second use of eggshells is that if you coarsely pound it and add it to your soil, it deters snails. You can keep snails away. Talking about snails, grass clippings. Grass clippings are also an excellent source of nitrogen. So you can add the grass clipping to your soil, and once they dry, they act as mulch. They also act as keeping the snails away, and they also are an excellent source of nitrogen. When they decompose, they slowly keep releasing nitrogen into your soil. So we spoke about eggshells, we spoke about pet hair, your hair, we spoke about grass clippings, coffee grounds, fish tank water, beans and peas, and last but not the least, you can add fermented manure, decomposed manure, not fermented, I'm sorry, decomposed manure. Do not use fresh manure because that kind of burns the soil, it's a little acidic. So you have to use decomposed manure. Now, all the above mentioned things that you get around your house, you can either add it to your composting pile. If you, like me, have no composting pile, just dig up your soil, add these things into it, and cover it up. Eventually, it will release nitrogen. Then you can use every day or every week, you can use different sections of your garden to dig up and add your composting material and then cover up the soil. Well, if you follow these easy steps, I'm sure your plants will not be devoid or deprived of nitrogen. They will look healthy. In the next session, we'll either speak about phosphorus or potassium. I hope this video was informative. I hope you like to see this face to the name. And if you have any suggestions, if you have any comments, if you've liked my video, please let me know through comments and through liking below. Alright, and do not forget about the recipes. Let me know what we should get cooking. Till then, see you. Bye.